All right, for the final time today, we want to once again say good afternoon, and on behalf of the host institution, the University of North Dakota, welcome you to Fargo Shields Arena and the Fargo Regional, part of the 2023 NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championships. Practice day has officially now come to an end, and with that, we welcome in the Regional's number 4 seed with a record of 20 wins, 18 losses, and 3 ties, representing the Atlantic Hockey Association, the Canisius Golden Griffins. Joining us this afternoon from Canisius is their head coach, Trevor Large, also joined by student athletes Keaton Mastrodonato and goaltender Jacob Barcheski as well. Most of you have been with us throughout the afternoon, but just in case, we will follow the same protocols we have throughout the day. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach. Following that, we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes exclusively first, excusing them, and then we'll wrap up with Coach's questions at that time. And again, just a reminder, you guys have been great with us so far today. No live streaming of these press conferences is allowed. They are being recorded and will be available in the virtual press box at the conclusion of the press conferences. We'll have a wireless mic going around. We do ask you to raise your question or raise your hand to ask your question and extend the courtesy of name and affiliation with your first question. And if you haven't already, we do ask that you silence your cell phones. With that, I'll get out of the way. We'll turn it over for an opening statement from Coach Large.
Appreciate it. Obviously, as we get a chance to get out to Fargo, we felt very welcomed, and it's been great for us to get here, get our feet on the ground, get out and practice. Obviously, exciting time for the Griffs. We definitely feel like we're playing our best hockey this time of year. I know most teams that get to the NCAA tournament are doing those things, and we feel very strongly that we're playing our best hockey of the year. Great playoff run for us. We've been able to build some obvious confidence in how we're playing, so we couldn't be more excited to play in an NCAA tournament.
Wonderful. Thank you, Coach. With that, we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Just for either of you, how much fun is this, and what are you expecting as far as a crowd reaction tomorrow? Minnesota's coach seemed to predict that they'd be the least popular team here, being the big bad bullies from Minneapolis.
I'll go ahead and start. It's been great so far. I think it's an experience for every guy in there. My college career here, being a senior, definitely special to me, Keaton, and all the rest of the guys. It's great to be here, and like you said, Fargo's been great so far. Just looking forward to tomorrow night and trusting our team here.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off what Jake said, we'll be ready for whatever comes our way. It's going to be a great atmosphere, I'm sure. Fargo's been nothing but great to us so far, and we're happy to be here, but here to win Thursday night.
Rachel Lindsay from the Buffalo News. This is for either Keaton or Jacob. What is the biggest challenge that your team's facing, besides just facing number 1 team in the country? What else does your team face in this environment?
I think, obviously we got to prepare ourselves, right, for tomorrow night. It's not going to be easy. We know that going in. We got to obviously have a lot of belief in ourselves, and just going in tomorrow night, I think, looking at every guy and knowing that we're capable, we're here to win. We earned this moment, so going in with that kind of mindset, I think, is going to be the biggest key for us.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for our group is looking internally. I think, we have belief in each and every one of the guys in this locker room, and we're confident in our abilities, and we're here for a reason, and we're going to make a statement.
Back to Frank.
Frank Mazzacco, Gopher Radio Network. Your team win-loss record's a pretty good flip from the first half of the season to the second half. By my count, it's like a 15-game to the plus side. Can you tell us, has there been much of a difference, or what would be a difference in the indications for either or both of you?
Moving into the second half, I think we looked at a couple areas of our game that were deficient a little bit through the first half of the season. We touched a little bit on our penalty kill and a little bit of our ozone structure, and not really, you look back on the year, there's not any huge changes we made. We always knew we were a really good team. Like I said, confident in the group we had in our locker room, and kind of just continue to build that confidence down the stretch. You know, the more wins you put together, you start stringing 2, 3 together, that confidence just continues to grow for our group.
I'll touch on that too, emphasizing the penalty kill aspect there. You look at our second half there on that penalty kill, it's been unbelievable so far. Given that trust in our team, and no matter what we do out there on the ice 5-on-5, we're going to get it done shorthanded. So I think that trust, building that in that second half has really led us to where we are right now.
Back to Rachel first.
For both Keaton and Jacob, what are going to be the keys for your team to compete with Minnesota?
Yeah, just to compete. I mean, we're coming here not just to compete, right? We're coming here to win. I'd say, like I said before, we're all capable of it, but we got to come out. Obviously, we got to start strong. It's been a theme here and there. Like, we'll come out a little flat-footed, or we might not be dialed in right off the first 5 minutes, but the first 5 minutes tomorrow night are going to be the most important. Getting our feet under us and just making sure our guys know that, hey, we're here to win, and it's not going to be easy, but all of us out there battling that first 5, I think, is going to be huge.
Just kind of piggyback off Jake. We're here for a reason. We're here to win. The guys are going to be ready. It's the same process, though, moving forward. You know, we're going to scout. We're going to be ready for an opponent in Minnesota, but the biggest thing is internally, you know, continue doing the things that are making us successful as a group and just building on that moving forward.
Good on Randy.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis Star Tribune. You have 3 Minnesota teammates on your team there. Have they give you some insight on Minnesota and playing the Gophers?
I don't know much about insight. It's just, you know, it's special to them, I think, playing a team that I think we can say as a kid they probably grew up watching and cheering for. It's definitely special to them, and I don't want to say they've really given us any tips, but it's safe to say every Minnesota player plays a certain way. But we're just gonna go in, like I said, guys are ready to go, and for those 3, it'll just be that much sweeter.
Well said. Anything else for the student athletes? If not, thank you guys. You're excused, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we'll open up the questions for Coach. Jess, lead us off.
Myers from the Rink Live. Trevor, same question we asked them. You know, are there keys you identified? You talked about, when we talked earlier, controlling what you control, but what can you control against an opponent like Minnesota, and especially that top line of theirs?
I mean, when you look at any opponent, right, and we played some tough ones recently, we understand how they want to play. You're trying to target strengths of any team that you're going to play. Obviously, Minnesota has, you know, some NHL draft picks there. Their first line is pretty dynamic. Those aren't things that are difficult to see when you watch them play. But then it's really looking at our guys going, okay, we know what their strengths are. We'll give them a little taste of what that looks like, and then it's really how are we going to make them give up the puck. I think that's been a big strength of our team recently, is that no matter who we play, our structure is solid, but the guys are so committed to play for each other and together that it makes it difficult for opponents to get through us. If we stick to those things that we've been successful with, and that's just one of them, I think no matter who we play, it's difficult to get a lot of scoring chances against us, and maybe play east-west or loose, or scoring chances back and forth. You know, we're a pretty physical team, and we play very tight together. So that system will help us against anybody, and just so happens it's going to be against Minnesota on Thursday.
Trevor, your two players are up here. They're ready for this challenge. Where do you think the belief comes from, the confidence comes from to face Minnesota? You know, what does it mean to you to hear the players say, you know, we want to go out and win?
Well, you got 2 guys here that have been at Canisius for 4 years. They've been highly decorated in our conference. They want this opportunity. This is why they play college hockey. it actually makes it easier as a coach because I'm sitting here listening to them going, they are ready. We have been sticking to a process that's been successful for us. They know that. They know how we want to play, and it's obviously a pleasure to get to an NCAA tournament. We earned the opportunity to be here. We won a championship in a very difficult conference. We played against Big Ten teams before in the past. We've had success. We've had failures. We're going to lean on all the experience that all of our players have had. The reality is we've had some players on our team that have come in and they've had NCAA tournament experience. We're going to lean on those as well. All the above allows us to keep our feet on the ground and one foot in front of the other, and this is a group that's been doing it for months. This is what we've been practicing for. The reality that it came true and we're here is exciting and real. But we have a very determined and focused group, so that's built a lot of confidence and grifts everywhere.
Coach Frank Mazzacco, we've talked, and your players have both talked about the improved penalty kill, particularly second half. If a goaltender is one of the most important penalty killers you have, has Jacob's game changed or improved over the course of the year?
I've been getting questions similar to this about what have we changed and how have guys changed to get here, and the reality is it's another opportunity for me to say that Barczewski has not changed. Barczewski has been an elite goalie since the day he got here and prior to. He's proven by his 40-year experience with us that he's been prepped and ready for the highest of competition. I'm very proud to say that he gets an opportunity to do that his senior year. He hasn't changed, and that's part of the beauty of Jacob Barczewski. He's a very determined goalie. He's very serious about his craft. He's very light and funny, and the guys want to play for him. That's been he's proven to our guys that he's the kind of goalie that you want to play for, literally since the day he got to Canisius. But to say what has he changed, he's been himself the entirety that I've ever known him. He's been extremely dialed in the past month. That there's a little difference there where you can see it in his eyes, and you can see that early in the game, if we need a big save, he's been there. That's not new, but he's definitely been putting on his best goaltending performances of late, and we couldn't be happier for the time that it's happening because when you see that in a goalie and you know that guys want to play for him, it's quite easy, but he has been absolutely dialed in the past month.
Anything else for Coach? All right, great stuff. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.